Hello, I'm FPX Toycat, and welcome back to an episode of the Minecraft Bedrock Update Adventures Let's Play. This is the Let's Play where I've been building stuff, killing stuff, and of course, destroying stuff. And today, I am going to be doing a little bit of on-camera mining, because this isn't really an episode of the Update Adventures. If you wanted to be cynical, you could argue this is the true episode, and the video going out today is the pretender. But the reason that I'm making this is because on YouTube, you learn at some point that you have to make compromises between your, vision of things, or your belief of how things should be, such as with mining. I always think that stuff that is very long and can be easily faked should be shown to the viewer, whereas some people say I don't care how true it is, I just want to see the story, or at the very least as a collective viewers are saying that. And another version of this, a much more recent one, is the fact that long form content can succeed on YouTube, but when it comes to the gaming space it is very, very much a done and gone thing. And so today I'm mining for Tuff, the long fun way. I'm actually looking forward to it. I've never gone on a dedicated Tuff mining trip. I don't know how hard this will be. Sorry, I don't know how tough this will be. Silly me missing the pun there. But I am looking forward to doing it regardless, because Tuff used to be a useless block. We all said they should make it into stairs and slabs, and they convinced us that, nah, that would be silly. And now years later, they're making it into stairs and slabs. And so I'm going to collect as much as I can, because unlike copper, which you can easily collect and then, turn into stuff later, you only get Tuff bricks from the trial chambers. So if you want regular Tuff, or you want Tuff walls, or you want Tuff stairs, this is what you need to get. Anyway, so today is going to be a bit of an old style Let's Play, and I'm doing it via member only. It's something I feel like isn't the dream of ways to do things, but it's a part of the Let's Play that I wanted to put right in there, but it literally would just harm their own videos, going out to the people who might very much want to watch it, because that is how YouTube does. All of their stuff is with testing and comparing and seeing what engagement ratios are, and working out who shouldn't see a video. And so ultimately, if you are the sort of person who wants to see this, now you know exactly where you can, I hope. But yeah, one of the things one of the weird things about your difference between your view and the world is that this is one of the things you'll have to realize is going to consistently happen, and also realize how to deal with it. I think it's a very internalized part of a lot of us to see some change happening and be like, no, but it was great the way it was before. And indeed, a lot of things probably are objectively better in ways that they have been in the past than they are right now. But at the same time, there is always a reason for change, and change is something that will never change. It will keep happening, at least as long as humans are making progress, which I sure hope is forever. And so, yeah, accepting change is important, and that's one of the things that I've kind of begrudgingly done here. But also, it means, I think the most useful lesson to take from it is, rather than seeing change as this negative thing, this hurdle that has to be overcome, try to see it as an opportunity. Try to, I guess, use curiosity as an emotion, is the way that you would put this most simply, is rather than using negativity and anger, is to try and approach, hey, mining for Tuff is not, oh wow, mining for Tuff is a really good idea apparently. Wow. It looks ridiculous, a bit like deep slate diamonds surrounded by Tuff. They should make Tuff diamonds, I'm just saying, Mojang, please hire me. But yeah, wow, that is really unexpectedly good. And also, we've already got 3 stacks of the stuff. Going really, really well for me, if I do say so. But yeah, the taking every opportunity for change as an opportunity for things to improve is the way you have to see things. Like, even I've realized I used to think it was like a semi-autistic trait to be like, yeah, you can't adjust to change. You like things the way they are. Everyone has like a granddad or maybe a father. I don't know what that's like. But I imagine having a father is like having a granddad, but like slightly less old and slightly more in control of your life. But yeah, everyone has like a granddad who's like, yep, I like things the way they were back in 1978. Nothing since then has been an improvement. Why do they insist on changing things? And that's a valid attitude for society to have. But also, you end up having a much better time if you try to work out, well, what can it actually mean? What are the possibilities? What are the new things opening up because of this change, as opposed to just the negative things going on? And so it's the way I try to see basically anything in life. It's like, yeah, there are downside, man, 6 deep slate diamonds, just as a fun little side benefit. I'm feeling rich today. I love that feeling, and I am glad that I got to feel it. But, yeah, also, by the way, I genuinely don't know if mining Tuff in caves is better, but I just figured it'd be logical because this is one of my deepest caves in my world. And so I've come right down here. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's missing a few pieces of wood, which will... I've got this nasty habit when I build recently, that I build everything that's visible, and then I say to myself, if I really wanted to look at the rest, I'd build it when I want to look at it, which is terrible life advice. That's something I should change. I shouldn't say that that's a good thing and accept, because that is the logical endpoint of saying that things are perfect the way they are and never need to improve, is saying that you are perfect the way you are and don't need to improve, which is one of the hardest things to grapple with, and one of the hardest things that I try to fight constantly, is to say, nah, I don't think I'm anywhere close to perfection. I don't think I'm any, but sometimes you say, not that you're perfect, but you say, like, yeah, this is good enough. And that's useful as a way to, like, I don't know, not beat yourself up. But also it's handy to, you know, like, be realistic with yourself and say, how can I be improving this? How can I be improving at, you know, like, making connections with friends? How can I be improving at, you know, the same thing with family or with, you know, with money spending? Like, I feel like there's something dumb that you spend money on every single day that you don't realize, and I definitely kind of feel this quite regularly. As long as you're taking some approach of, like, I am not infallible, I should be changing, and every time I do, it's a good thing, I think in life you have a better experience, which is why I'm not into... I think one of the things that I've kind of changed, even during the course of this Let's Play, is I realized that some ingredients which just seem dumb to make farms for, some farms that aren't fun to make, you know, like, I've been kind of generalizing the entire category, because some farms are a pain. I will stand by the fact that the iron farm is the dumbest part of Minecraft, that if no one had discovered that that was possible in one of the early snapshots, way back in the day, if that had just not happened, Minecraft would be much better right now, in my opinion. I need to check something. Okay, yeah, we're all good. I had one of those, am I recording moments? You know, because I am not perfect, and I am someone who forgets to hit the recording button sometimes. You wouldn't know, because every time I don't hit the recording button, you don't get to see it. Anyway, so, one of the interesting things that has, you know, kind of, recently, kind of changed in me is realizing that some farms are probably worth building. Like, some... I don't really spend a lot of time AFK in my world, so I don't want a farm that's really built for, like, yeah, you leave this running overnight and you wake up with a chest full of something. But I do like the idea of, like, yeah, I can leave this running in the background and then, you know, while I'm doing something else, because, you know, a fun side... By the way, it looks like Mining Tough is the way to find diamonds. I've heard this is true, but if you're in a big cave like this, really, really low down, it seems like it's totally working out, because diamonds can't well, they can spawn exposed to air, but they spawn in smaller quantities. So if you mine through if you kind of, I guess, do a little bridge mining through a chunk of tuff, you might end up with more diamonds than otherwise, because it's exposing more. So digging around a tuff vein, especially because it mines a lot faster, that might be the pro strat, because, like, if I put on a Silk Touch Efficiency 5 pickaxe, look how fast we can tear this area apart. Very, very satisfying, and maybe a very, very diamond-filled experience. Anyway, so, yeah, one of the things... indeed, an incredibly diamond-filled experience. I don't even know what to do with all this diamond at some point. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to make a Deep Slate diamond ore temple? Like, I mean, one day that's a fun idea, but is it a good idea for right now? The answer is hopefully not, because I would love to not have to do that. So yeah, I as my first member-only kind of like Let's Play outcut, I wanted to take a moment and spend like a little bit of time talking about the evolution of YouTube, because it is something I am noticing that the early, you know, people have been saying for as long as time has been going on that the early days of something are better, and the reason that people say that is because that's when they first got into it. It's the same. Oh, we're over here. It's the same aversion to change, just put into a different, you know, like, set of words. Like, you know, disliking all the changes that have occurred make you say that things were better in the old days. It's the same reason we say music used to be better. It's because when you first get into, you know, a type of music, or, you know, I guess realistically, the music that survives is more important and more impressive than the music that is alive right now. And, you know, it's this kind of nostalgia, whereas you see all the flaws in the current day, you only see the good bits of something which doesn't exist anymore. It's maybe one of the reasons why, you know, like, it's one of the reasons for that, like, kind of halo effect that occurs when people dies. By the way, this is such a seriously OP method. Look at all these diamonds that are just... Well, that's one diamond, actually. You know, don't look at all these diamonds. Look at all of these diamonds that have just appeared while I'm genuinely just trying to mine a chest full of some other stuff. I have accidentally found a diamond mining technique that is going crazy. Anyway, so, yeah, what's important to say is that I think... the advent of YouTube is something people really love to a certain degree. But in reality, I think the golden age was somewhere a little bit later. If you were to say there's a golden age, I think the golden age of YouTube is usually like right now, because, you know, that's when the most availability of content is. But what happens is eventually, you know, like certain changes are made and certain creators get deprioritized, all this sort of stuff. And realistically, some of that happens because you get bored of the creators. You know, I can say like, oh, YouTube is pushing this down in your algorithm all I like. And although there is some real truth to that, it's pushing it down the algorithm because there's something else you prefer, and even if you don't think that you prefer it, YouTube thinks that you do, and so it pushes it there instead. And so something I like about the idea of members only as a type of content is we can specifically make the content that the subscribers want. On YouTube as a whole, it is my duty to make things that appeal not just to you could call it the flock if you want to use biblical terms, but, you know, appeal to the people who have decided they want to be here, who have hit subscribe, etc., etc. Or I can try and make content that appeals to everyone else, the wider YouTube audience, but realistically, the wider Minecraft audience, the wider, you know, audience of people who would like to watch a video about a video game. You have two choices, effectively, and they both seem like, you know, the ultimate goal is that you really have to do both, because if you only ever appeal to new people, you'll never attract subscribers, and you'll never have a channel that works at all. And if you never attract... Also, there is lava above me. I've got to keep that in mind. And if you only ever attract subscribers, you'll never get new people in there to become subscribers. You know, the subscribers are an ever-dwindling number because, you know, even though people are immune from house fires when they subscribe to this channel, they're not immune to all the other things. Eventually... you know, I've been running this Let's Play world for 11, was it 12 years this year? It is 12 years this year. That is really a wild thing to say. I've been making Minecraft videos for 12 years, and over that time, genuinely, the number of people who not just lost interest, but genuinely had some serious complication in their life, or, you know, like maybe it's not as bad as, you know, like it's not quite, you know, like, it could be much more severe than even just like, oh yeah, they had a house fire and dropped out, because I guess they're not having house fires, but it could be that some people have died. It could be even worse. They could have had children and lost all their time to do free things in life. They could have, even worse than both of those things, they could have lost their passion for Minecraft. But the weird thing about it is you have to work out how to appeal to all these people who have subscribed over the years, and then also new people. This is why the challenge of being a YouTuber kind of gets harder over time, because not only do your existing ideas become stale, as like, no one wants to watch the 700th episode of the Let's Play, they'd rather start from episode 1 of a brand new one, kind of understandably, I think. You know, like, I think there's this challenge that happens over time where, like, your ideas seem more stale to the people watching them, but I also think, again, trying to be as candid as I can right here, rather than just using the polite YouTuber language where I say, the algorithm is out to get me, man. But I think the other reason, underneath all of this, is the fact that, yeah, as you get a wider audience that have subscribed over more years, you have to cater to a larger and larger number of people, and that gets harder and harder to do. Every YouTube, every entertainment property has a limited lifespan, and so that's why I think member-only videos are great. I can appeal specifically not just to subscribers, but the hardcore subscribers. It's hard to appeal to people who subscribed 11 years ago, had children, forgot about Minecraft, are getting back into the game and don't remember subscribing to me 11 years ago. That is the type of person I technically have to appeal to on YouTube, alongside, I don't know, like an iPad baby who's, you know, just turned 15. Can you be an iPad baby in 15? I hope the iPad's not that old. I'm pretty sure it is, though. So, you know, you could have someone like that who, like, genuinely has an attention span of 8 seconds. Working out how to appeal to both of those people is hard. Well, and so having, you know, a place which is specifically like, yeah, the types of videos I otherwise can't make because neither of those groups are happy, but I know the hardcore subscribers want, well, a lot of those people are members anyway, and so here are the videos for you. It's a fun, exclusive club, and if I'm really lucky, again, I'm trying to level with you as much as I can here, if I'm really lucky, some number of people might even choose to subscribe or become members, so they can see this sort of stuff. I think that is a fun, ideal place for us to land up on, so that we're not as, because I am someone who is very... you know, like, kind of in a way of being fearful of change. One of the wildest things about YouTube is genuinely every year since I've started, I've been very sure this was my last, call it 18 months on YouTube. I had a really bad downswing, And I knew that if I didn't get out of that downswing on YouTube, I would be over. I still don't know if that's like normal or if I just got lucky that I did manage to escape death, as it were, on YouTube, you know, several dozen times in a row. I don't know for sure. I don't know if I could say of absolute certainty that, you know, everyone goes through this or if it is just me. But in either case, it would be nice to have a way to say, yeah, just because views are down 40% this month, it doesn't mean you have to, you know, desperately work stuff out and see how you can scramble to, you know, survive and see if you know, work out, like, I've been exploring, like, other career opportunities this whole time. And it'd be fun if we could say, like, okay, what if we could be sure that even when views drop 10% in a month, or realistically, between the, you know, between the summer and the winter, they can go down as much as like 50-60%. I had a drop just after the pandemic of like something like that, and it didn't go up for a while, and so it was, there were years of struggling and working out like, okay, what is the way past this? What is the way forwards here? And I think member-only content is the best way to take the time that I am dedicating to finding a solution, and instead of doing it on stuff that you can't see, make the videos that hopefully you want to make. So that is my kind of extended pitch for the membership, and tying it into the idea of me mining tough, because it's hard, it's new, it's something fun, mixed of something familiar, and it means I can explore in ways that I otherwise can't. So I'm looking forward to it. If you are, then that's good. There are comments enabled on these, so I think they're going to be interesting comment sections, because I think unlike regular YouTube comments, there aren't like upvotes and downvotes, and only the most hardcore 400 or so subscribers will be here at a given point in time. The long-term goal would be if that be closer to like 1,000, so that it, like, you know, more or less can cover the basic monthly expenses of living in London, but you know, because of the fun thing about that, you can do the maths yourself if you really feel like it. But I feel like that would be good. It would mean that I would be like fully free and etc. etc. But that's where I'm looking at taking things of this channel, and I hope that you look at coming with me. In fact, wait, I don't have to hope that you are. You already have. Thank you for being a member, either by gift or hopefully by subscription. This is it's an important little avenue, and we do have some fun member goals set up. And so as we go through those, there'll be some exclusive content that releases alongside that. I'm looking forward to it a lot, and hopefully you're looking forward to it a lot as well. As far as my tough ambitions go, because if you watched the regular Let's Play first, if you haven't watched the regular Let's Play, let me just say, you know, today I wanted to go old school. I figured I would mine some tough, and we'd talk about stuff until I got there. You know, this right here is one of the things that I think is missing about farming in Minecraft. When people say, I want to get 1,000 blaze rods for my next project, what they'll do is they'll go sit in front of the blaze farm, and then they'll walk away. That, to me, does seem like less exciting than being like, okay, let's go on a big nether trip, let's kill some blazes, let's get something else done at the same time. The more AFK solutions Minecraft has, the less they're encouraging you to play the game. It's an issue RuneScape had. I've been really into RuneScape recently, and it's been interesting to watch how the game has gone through a downfall. I think there's a lot to be learned from history in general, but especially from studying like the defeats of certain things. And if you look at if you are to look at RuneScape, you can see that they had one of the most popular MMORPGs out there, one of the most popular games of all time, and they slowly kept on trying to make it better and better and catering to more and more people, allowing you to play the game less and less and less and get higher and higher experience rates. And at first this seems great. People love each of these individual updates, but over time it feels like there's not much of a game left to play. And then over time, even crazier, is they start getting incentives to add microtransactions and have you pay to get certain things. And just between these two interests alone, like play the game less but spend more money on it, you have a few people who spend a few $1,000s, you know, like a year, maybe a month in some cases, I really hope not, on the game, and a lot of people who don't. It has a tiny number of the players it once had, and it's just on a death spiral that looks like it has no way to go. By the way, we're very close to having a full stack. It looks like you don't need to mine many blobs of tough to actually have a whole, you know, like bunch of it done. By the way, if you were trying to mine tough efficiently to find diamonds, I guess this is what you'd have to do. You'd have to branch mine through the tough, or strip mine, if you will. And yeah, by the way, can I talk about something here? I try to be, I try to engage with comments, and every now and then I hear a comment that I know is wrong, but I just feel is right. And so I want to talk about it right here. Because someone said that strip mining is genuinely more effective than just mining in a 2x2 line. And I still don't know if I believe it or if I agree with it, but I want to tell you their logic. When you strip mine like this, I've now mined this entire area, even though I never touched these ones and the free in between. Whereas if I am to, you know, if I mine in a straight line, just going, I don't know, just continuously going forwards like this, then I'm only mining the bits to the side of it. And so in effect, this is mining 3 tunnels, but getting a tunnel that's 9 blocks wide, whereas mining a single tunnel is mining 1 tunnel and getting one that's 1 block wide. Does it actually work that way? Or did someone trick me with that? I think they did. I think if you make it more than 3 blocks between each of the branches, you'll find more diamonds than normal. But if you only do it 2 blocks between the branches, you won't. Anyway, every now and then I get really, really broken by thinking about it. And it's one of those fun things where there's some real tiny efficiency gains that we can talk about forever, because it's just fun for that little last bit, isn't it? And so similarly, I think there are some efficiency gains for what we do here with the membership project. I think there's some little bits to work out about, like, okay, should we have regular videos on top of the milestone videos? Should it be like a little bit of a random thing? Do people like consistency, or do they want some behind-the-scenes stuff too? These are the things that I am going to be working out, I guess. But for now, I want to just give you the update to how things are, and I wanted to give it to you in the form of an old-style Let's Play, because if it were up to me, I would be making these videos all these years later. It's my favorite way to do anything in Minecraft. It's you know, again, I'm glad that YouTube standards mean that I can't, because it means we all have better content to watch, etc. But I'm also saddened. Things used to be better when you could just talk to the camera about Minecraft, when you could share the real stuff. You know, I asked the Twitter AI recently, like, yeah, just tell me about Andrew. And it was like, I have no idea how he worked this out from, you know, like, I have no idea how AI has crawled the data in the videos. But it's like, oh yeah, Andrew is very, you know, open and honest about, you know, self-harm struggles or something like that. And I was like, that's cool. That's really nice, isn't it? That's, it's the sort of thing where you know, I feel like in the moment, I'm talking about something that I'm just like, oh yeah, this is something might be useful. And in the retrospect, it is so useful to some that they decide to write about it in some source that eventually gets found when people find it. And what I'm trying to say here is I do my very best to work out what it is that means that I can survive. I'm jealous of people who don't have to think that way. I've been thinking about this today, actually, as we go back home. I've been thinking about today that, like, some people don't think about, like, oh yeah, how are we going to make this work for a long time? They're just like, I'll just do what makes sense, like, this week, maybe, and hopefully that works out next week, too. And a lot of those people get lucky. I wonder if that's how I should have been with YouTube. Like, you know what, just because, you know, in about 3 months' time, I won't be able to afford the mortgage anymore, that doesn't mean that I should stress and get into a big panic mode and work out how to fix it. It'll just fix itself. Because, you know, it's every time it's fixed, I've been crediting myself. Maybe I've been stressing myself unnecessarily. The problem without scientific testing in your real life is you'll never actually know which one it is. And so, anyway, my point here is to say, I have been IBX Toycat. I still am IBX Toycat, and I hope you all enjoyed today's Update Adventures Let's Play. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening, because I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Why is my Elytra the plain one? It's definitely meant to be green. Whatever.